What's up, everybody? Welcome to Blue River Bow Hunting, episode 49. It's been a hot minute since we came in here and recorded a podcast. There's a reason we haven't been in here for a hot minute. We've been in the stand videoing. I'm sure anybody that follows us has seen that. We're going to get to plenty of that this evening. But episode 49, I got your favorite co-host in here with me this week, Adam Bonowitz, a.k.a. The Neighbor. We got Zach Sloan from Mid-State Outdoors. He hammered a good one up there in Michigan. We'll get to that here in a minute. But what's going on, Zach?
Oh, not much, man. Hanging out. Another night in the garage.
Oh, yeah. I hear that, man.
I'd rather be in Indiana trying to kill one, but here we are.
Come on down.
Come on
I know
down.
I need to. I've been talking about it. We'll see. I'm trying to maybe, depending on weather and that, hopefully maybe sneak out Friday or something, head down.
Yeah,
For
At least
sure.
like all day sit or something or whatever, get a couple hunts in, at least make the tag worth a while, you know what I mean?
yeah. Just before you head down, shoot me or Brett a message so we can remind you to pack your stand.
Come on, man. Can I tell at least the story?
Yeah, let's hear the story.
All right. So we're gonna start this off right, I guess. We were just talking before this. He's like, I'm gonna throw it out there, but so anyways, long.
You just
story
didn't think that fast.
when I was headed down there or getting ready to head down there, I had to work that day, so I had everything sitting right next to my door. I'm talking, all my bags, my clothes, basically everything set right by my garage door, with my custom gear stand sitting right next to it, and I take off. Just about into Indiana, and I thought about it for some reason. I was like, oh my Lord, forgot my tree stand, so I ended up having to go to a Dunham's, picked up a Hawk Helium hang-on to get me by down there, so it was a big joke. We were down there, when I first got there, we all drank a couple beers and sat in the garage, and we're kind of laughing about it, but, I mean, it just adds to the adventure, I guess, when you're just running with something,
Every time you have something like that happen, it frustrates the hell out of you. But back in your mind, you're like, "This is some memory we'll talk about next time."
Oh, for sure. That was my thing then too. I was like, obviously, I was kind of mad about it, having to spend a couple $100 on a new stand. But then again, now looking back at it, that was the funniest part of the whole trip. Really, laughing at myself.
Yep.
So to add to that story, let's add even more. So we put the stand together. I won't say we.
I was gonna say
there's no we about it. I didn't do anything besides drink some beer and watch him put it together. But me and Zach, we get in the woods the next morning. I wanted me and Zach to be mobile in some properties that I had while he was down here. We get set up, and I put the climbing sticks up. I have the saddle to filming ways here, and we get to the top of the climbing sticks. I get the saddle set up and everything, and he gets to the top, and I hear him say, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Oh, that's never good." He's like, "Man, I put the clip on backwards." I'm like, "Fuck."
There's one. There's one. Did you count it? I counted it.
That doesn't count. That was mid-hunt.
So what happens is on them Hawks, they have their straps are weird. They're not like a normal cam button. They have two little clips on each side. Well, obviously we got into the beers. We're a little bit, and it was probably the pink crescent wrench I had to use. Wow. It threw me off. I put it on backwards. When I got up there, the actual hole mark, where the bullet actually goes through, was sticking out instead of the slit for the strap to hook into. But
gotcha.
That just added to it,
Oh yeah.
It's always fun though. I mean, we just made memories. We went to a stand. I mean, a double hang-on that I had from previous years, which is crazy because we didn't see anything out of that stand, and we'll get to it here in a minute. But I shoot a 130-inch deer a week later out of that stand. It's crazy how things work out like that. We got mobile after that. We went and sat down in a place that I'd hardly hunt, hardly at all. I'm going to go in chronological order here on this.
He's using big words.
I am using big words. For anybody that's 4 minutes and 50 seconds into this, we got a lot of deer on the ground. Zach's got a deer on the ground. I have a deer on the ground. Adam has a deer on the ground. Ryan has a deer on the ground. We have a lot of deer on the ground. Most of them, 3 of those are on video, including yours that you killed in Michigan before you even came. Thanks for the shout out of that. I just watched that, and you gave me the shout out. I don't think I saw that till just now.
Hey, I was waiting for it, man. It was right before I was taking off too, man. I said it in the intro. I'm pretty sure that I'm headed out to Indiana.
I remember watching it in the garage that you did.
Yep.
So let's get into your buck. October 22nd. I know you put a lot of time into scouting, running a lot of trail cameras, that sort of thing. But let's go through that trip down memory lane as far as your buck on October 22nd. Tell us how it all played out. Give us every detail you can possibly give us.
Okay. So, I guess, let's start out. I'm going to start out the night before. I had one of my buddies, Kyle Padoka, come out and film for me at Dad's. He went up north. And the funny part about Dad's is usually I kind of give him free range at the start of the year. You know what I mean? It's his property. I help him do everything, but usually I'll just kind of give him his free time, and when rut kicks in, I'll usually hop in there. Well, when he was taking off up north, I kind of asked him, I was like, dude, can I go over there and hunt this weekend? It's been kind of slow at my other properties that I can hunt. And, I really didn't have anything crazy on camera since the start of the year. So, long story short, he was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever, He's like, there's only been, one on camera that I would probably shoot. No, but really, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good bucks there, but that was like the buck that was showing up more than, a lot of the other ones. Long story short, me and Kyle go out. There's this goofy genetic. We have this weird genetic going around where they only grow like a spike or like some goofy stuff on one side. And I was talking to Dad about it at the start of the year. I'm like, dude, we have another like 2 or 3 of them bucks. I really think we need to shoot them. Like it's spreading. You know what I mean? It's not here. It's been happening consistently for the last like 4 years. We have a couple of them pop up, and now it's like, well, we have 3 of them out here this year. That's weird, Well, I don't know.
One of them's freak nasty. He's pretty tall.
Oh yeah, I showed you guys a video.
Yeah.
So I was guessing, dude, that deer was 3.5. Biggest bodied deer, I think, besides like the one I've shot that I've seen this year. You know what I mean? And me and Kyle seen him, and I filmed him. And Kyle's like, dude, I think you should shoot him. And I'm like, no, I kind of want to okay with Dad. I don't want to piss him off. So the next day, I called Dad and was like, dude, do you think I should shoot that deer? He's like, I don't really know, but if you want to, you can. And I was like, man, he'd make a cool European mount. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
So I go out basically that night to shoot that deer. Okay, long story short, I drive over there.
Get flipped off by your brother.
Flipped your brother off.
Flipped him off. I get down there. I park off the side of the road. And I'm just dropping the tailgate, man, and I just shot I have a mount for my GoPro that goes on my head. It's awesome. That's what I got, like, all my B-roll with this year. So I was using that, and I shut it off because there was, like, this S10 that pulled up next to the truck. I forgot, dude. I wanted to put this in my video, too, kind of talking about this, but it was funny afterwards thinking about it. This S10 pulls up, and it's an older guy and his wife. And I'm like, I'm just in my underlayment stuff or whatever, got the scent lock on. And I'm going to pop my tailgate, and the guy, stops right next to my truck. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird, So I look over at him. And he rolls down the window. He's like, you hunt back here? And I'm like, yeah.
Nope, just going shopping.
Right. I'm kind of like, well, but whatever. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, you should have seen the buck I seen last night going along the edge of this, headed right to the north. And you know where my dad's food plot is, straight to the north.
Yeah, I pounded a turkey right there.
This deer was the biggest buck I've ever seen, and this old boy's just all worked up. And I'm just thinking, yeah, whatever, it's pretty.
Oh, absolutely.
I told him, I was like, well, right where you just pointed is where I'm going to be setting tonight, so hopefully he does it again. So anyways, I put all my stuff on, get in there, sneak in the same as I always do. Hop up in Dad's shack. And dude, didn't put that in the video either, but I get into my shack, right? And the night before, Kyle didn't film on my tripod. He just was freehanding it, right? So I took my base and everything off my camera, and I threw it in my pack. Well, I actually thought I left it at home. Well, when I got in the blind that night, I realized that wasn't on the bottom of my camera, and I'm like, oh my, how am I going to film when I don't have my tripod? You know what I mean? The base wasn't on my camera to go into my
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh boy. So that was actually during my interview, and I kind of cut some of it out because
I saw you putting it on there with the remote and everything.
Yeah, it was like it was going to be like a 10-minute intro because so much funny shit got talked about. Dude, it was funny, but I'm like, I don't want to make the video too long, so I cut out a bunch of it. But this was part of it, like, and I'm in a panic mode, dude. I'm in the middle of my interview, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is going to be a little bit interesting. I'm going to have to figure out how to hold my camera on my fluid head. So anyways, I find that, get it all set up. By the time I do this, I'm doing the last part of my intro, and in the last part of my intro, I said something like, yup, all right. I said, here in a little bit, I said I'm going to smoke one at 30 yards.
Yeah.
Did that. So, anyways, I finished up my intro, and I look out my window, and I'm like, oh, shit, there's already deer out in the food plot. And I'm talking, I went out early. It's 75, 76 degrees, humid, just muggy. I'm thinking it's going to be a crappy hunt. It starts off at, shit, I don't know, then probably it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock probably. You know, it was before the time change. And I was in there pretty early.
Uh-oh.
He'll come back. Uh-oh.
He frozen.
Damn it.
You good?
Yep.
Yeah, we're good. We're back.
Lord, I must have been on my internet again.
It's all right.
Feel good?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. So there's just deer funneling in, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like, I was not expecting it. Well, had a couple young bucks work in. Then I look over, and at the water hole at the end of the food plot, there's a nice, I would say at least probably 120 to 125 inch 8-point, real nice one, in the water hole. He works back in, and then it was a couple of them other young bucks. There's a decent 2-year-old 8-point. They're all in the food plot, and then that goofy spike rack buck comes in, you know, and I'm like, man, should I shoot him? It's
Uh-oh.
Damn it, Zach.
Zach, you gone again.
Oh, he's back. He's back. I see him moving. Damn it.
Needless to say, I did watch the hunt, and I don't know how many deer he had around him.
Ton of deer in the food plot.
He had more deer around him in one hunt than we've seen in
the whole
2
year.
weeks.
still good.
Yeah, we're
there
good.
you are.
You're just bouncing in and out.
I have no idea what's going on.
It's all right. It's just
Yeah.
the internet connection.
Okay. So
We
either
still got
way,
you.
that one buck comes in, and I'm like, man, should I shoot him? He's out of the weird window to shoot out of. I'm like, no, we're gonna set it still really early. Well, then next thing you know, that smaller 2-year-old 8-point works across. He's feeding on my side now because the food plot's kind of split. There's like a little kick out, you know, so there's like basically 2 food plots kind of connected. And he's out there, and he starts acting a little weird. And he kind of works off to the woods, and I was like, man, that's weird, you know what I mean? Didn't get my wind or anything.
Damn it, man.
Zach, it's probably too cold up there. And that's why your internet is sucking right now.
Michigan internet. Damn it, man.
I have no idea.
It's just it happens, man. It happens sometimes on this. We got you though, a little bit.
Okay. Oh,
We got you.
all right. So, anyways, he looks over this buck. If you watch the video, starts laying it, hitting the scrape, moves to another scrape, comes out. I didn't show all this in the video because it was kind of confusing. And my second angle, it started to get dark in the blind, so I couldn't really use that part, anyways. So I used. He actually comes across 45 yards. I come to full draw. I had my pin still set to 30. I got an adjustable.
You got the single pin?
Yep. Still had it on 30, and I'm looking, and I'm like, dude, he's way farther than 30.
And you go on again.
Damn it, man.
The good news is I'll drink every time this freezes.
I'm gonna have to pee before he finishes the story.
Oh.
Hey, don't throw that XOP. I want it.
Oh, my Lord.
Don't worry about it, dude. It's part of this, and it's unedited. It's part of our podcast. We wouldn't throw it out for nothing, especially you telling the story.
Okay. Hopefully this
We got you.
So
Single
anyway,
pin.
I'm at full draw, and I'm like debating. I was like, dude, do I aim a little bit high? I said, no, I'm not screwing up this buck. I let my bow back down. By the time I let my bow back down, he's like past my window. I don't have this window open due to how the wind was blowing. He's standing 20 yards from me, from the shack, just standing there feeding, and I'm like,
With the closed window.
well,
With the window closed.
the window makes too much noise. I'm like, well, I just let another good one walk out of my life. This buck's staring off. He's about to walk off the bean field. And I'm like, just sitting there, like, pissed at the world, pissed at myself. I'm like, dang it, you made a mistake, whatever. And I'm kind of sitting there just at, like, disbelief, watching this deer feed along. And next thing you know, I hear some scuffling next to me. And I look over, and a doe runs right next to the shack. Dude comes out in the food plot. The little buck he was with turned around and starts beelining right towards her. And I'm like, uh-oh, this might get interesting. Flip the camera back on, and I look, dude, he turns right around, and he's coming down the same line. I range that little buck 30 yards, step back, get the camera on him, make sure the second angle's on, come to full draw. He walks out there, and you can tell in the video, if he would have stopped where I wanted him to stop, it would have been perfect. He took like 3 more steps, and I remember looking at my camera, and I was like, whatever, it is what it is, you know what I mean? And let it eat. I don't know.
Smoke City.
I was fired up for sure.
So, guarantee it.
So what did he score for the?
He went 135 and a half.
Well,
You got
out
me.
of the 3 of us,
You got us.
I'm sitting in third.
Hey, I've seen your wall.
Yeah.
I'm talking nothing to you.
Oh man, but no, that whole hunt, the video itself, I loved it, Zach, and I like the small things you did with the camera, just with the bow, the shots and stuff. I thought it was incredible. Actually, didn't you self-film a little bit of you walking into the stand too? Well, that was with your GoPro, wasn't it?
Yeah, with my GoPro. I always run it on my hat, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, and you got to use a lot of that. Like when I killed my buck, we had the GoPro out. Does that mean anything? It never got turned on, and it happened so fast, so we didn't get a chance to turn it on. But I did love how you had so much extra little stuff with your video.
So I always tell Brett, man, I've learned over I just kind of started editing some of our film, but I've helped at our guy that does our stuff, Adam.
Yeah.
I've learned, man, what makes a video is the good B-roll. It kind of ties everything in, you know what I mean? Well, I kind of told everyone, I was like, try to focus on, hitting them angles. So, when someone's watching it, they're like, dang, dude, I feel like I'm going to the woods with this guy. I feel like I'm in the tree with him. I feel like, I've been really trying to film absolutely everything. And that head mount, that GoPro mount is
Game changer.
yeah, dude. I mean, getting ready even at the truck, you run that on, you're putting your coat on, you're grabbing your bag, grabbing your bow, and then, walking in and all that's really easy.
Now, I think you did an excellent job of it. But what do you do in the mornings?
Morning's hard. I mean, you're not going to get much B-roll walking in.
That's what I was wondering. You can kind of talk with the light on the truck, and that's about it, really.
That's normally when I do a morning hunt, I'll just kind of either that or at the house in the garage when I'm kind of packing my stuff up, I'll kind of just be like, hey guys, we're going in here this morning, this and that, and then I'll just be like, we'll get back with you, when we get to the stand or whatever. And
Yeah. Does the wife ever hear you talking who the hell is he talking to out there?
Oh, my wife. I told her what I was doing tonight. She's laughing at me.
Oh yeah, they love to give us hell. Now my wife has been talking about it and talking to Brett's wife about wanting to do a podcast, women with husbands at deer hunt.
I think we need to get Katie in on this conversation.
Dude, it would blow up because they would pick us apart and make fun of us like no other.
It would not be good, probably. It would be funny, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it's okay. So you shoot this buck, 130-inch buck. You even said 4 days. In 4 days, you're leaving to Indiana.
Yep.
I want to hear we may not even want to hear it. You had 4 days to come to Indiana. Before we talk about anything,
Yep.
what did you think of hunting Indiana?
To be completely honest,
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, we want complete honesty.
Yes,
so
sir.
so dude, I could like, when you get into a spot and you can picture how good it can be at the right time. That's the only thing I was thinking about when I was down there. I was like, dude, this spot is going to be just perfect during the rut.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And
obviously,
it was.
just like I mean, you killed the deer. What? Not even
2
a week
weeks
after.
later, yeah.
Yeah, not even what was it, a week and a half later?
It's like, yeah. So, and just like we talked when I was down there, I said I feel like you guys are a week behind us, and point proven. You guys both killed then, both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys don't have as many deer.
Oh, no.
No, not even fucking close.
Michigan is ridiculous amount of deer, but we don't have the. I mean, I say that, but technically, Michigan does not have the quality.
Now, do you think the 2 buck limit is why you don't have the quality? Because you got everything to raise giants there. And they get killed there. I mean, don't get us wrong. The giants do get killed there.
And there is, you know what I mean? I just got a picture today of a buck I talked about. I don't know if I talked about while I was down there, but I've seen him a couple times this summer, like right next to my dad's neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And I called it. I said, he's going 155, 160. And I just got a picture of him. He got shot about a mile and a half from where my dad is, or where my dad's place is.
In range.
Absolute freaking giant.
Mm-hmm.
Like crazy giant. And I think it's funny, because Michigan's got like the bad name. Oh, Michigan hunter this, Michigan what. I hear it a lot, but dude, it's all about your neighbors here. Like, we have a good neighbor. We have a handful of good neighbors, you know what I mean? There's a couple mile section there where a lot of guys will pass the average Michigan buck, you know what I mean? The 2.5-year-old 8-point that's a little bit inside the ears and thin tines. But a couple of my other properties I can hunt, my neighbors will shoot anything that walks. So the problem I think with Michigan is, and I don't know how your guys' pressure is there in Indiana, but I'm talking in a square mile section, I'll bet you I would say even on a small spectrum, there's at least 5 guys hunting that square mile section.
That's probably pretty close to here, really. I mean,
yeah.
To be honest,
I'm talking at every house, there's somebody that hunts here, and and I'm saying a hunter, not like us.
right?
Yeah.
Somebody wants to shoot something,
or a crossbow and starts flinging stuff. You know what I mean? They go out to shoot animals, and I will never badmouth anybody about what they shoot or anything like that. I don't believe in doing that, but
I don't unless he lives next to me.
Oh, I beat it by an inch. Okay.
But my thing is, a lot of the guys here in Michigan are, and they're always first. So I kill that deer, and I hear from everyone, "Oh, must be nice."
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, dude, I had worked my absolute, sorry for swearing, ass off for 10 years to kill that deer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I've killed a couple 120-inch deer, whatever, 115, 120-inch deer. And I told myself 3 years ago, I said, I'm not shooting a buck. My goal was a 130-inch buck. I said, I won't shoot it. I haven't shot a buck in 3 years now because of that. And honestly, coming into this year, I was super frustrated. I said, you know what? I don't really care this year. I'm going to go out and I'm going to have fun. And I'm going to put something on the ground this year. You know what I mean? It gets frustrating when you put so much time in and you're just coming up short.
Then you get on Facebook and see every little kid killing giants, and you're like, what the hell am I doing wrong?
And I'm one of them guys that put a lot of thought into where I'm hunting, where I need to be at certain times of the year. Really strategic, I guess. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I think I overthink myself. I think about it too much. Sometimes I just need to all right, that was the first thing you thought, you need to go do it. Not well, I could do this, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
But Indiana, I'm saying, yes, you're not going to have the deer numbers. I think you guys definitely have more quality deer.
Yeah, and I think why we do is the 1 buck rule.
Oh, for sure.
If you guys went to that, man, you'd have so many 3-year-olds that make it to the next year.
Back to that, I would love to see it go to 1 buck rule. They never will because, the insurance companies and all that stuff.
Well, and your deer population is so huge, it probably needs to be where it is for a while.
Probably. My thing, I think would help a lot, personally, earn a buck program. So in order to get your buck tags, I don't care if they keep it at 2, you have to shoot it out.
Yep. That's how we used to be years and years ago.
Well, that's how our urban zone is.
You know, like it was. Man, I may be wrong, but man, I remember when I was a kid, you had to get. Actually, it was the opposite. You had to get drawed for a doe here. I mean, our population was so bad. I mean, you can only kill a doe during a certain time of the year.
I'm back.
But I would agree with that, man. I would agree with 100%. Earn your second tag.
Yep. I think that would help out a lot because there's a lot of guys around too that don't shoot does.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I shoot does, but there's just so many. I mean, like our rut here.
If you had a property and say you were seeing more bucks than does, or maybe you only saw a couple does, would you shoot any does? Because that's how his place is. He's saying he's only seen a couple does there, period. And he's like, I'm not shooting any does, period. It doesn't matter if it's a youth hunter, him, me, whoever. He's not shooting any does, and I agree with him. I want him. I want that population to get back up. You want that doe to breed. You want that doe to produce bucks. You want them bucks to grow. That's smart.
I mean, if you shoot a doe, you kill 2 the next year. If you shoot a doe, it's basically wiping out 2 next year.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, man, Zach, great hunt, by the way. And dude, congratulations after being 3 years of being patient and being frustrated. Because dude, I went 8 years before I killed one.
Yep. So before my last 2 bucks before this one, I went 7 years without killing a buck.
Yeah. Well, I hope the switch gets flipped for you like it did for me after 8 years. I went, I think 6 or 7 years in a row killing a buck. After that, then last year I was scared because I didn't kill one. I was like, oh my gosh, am I about to hit that cycle again to where I go?
It's been the last couple of years, and I was getting frustrated. But looking back on it, I won't change it. In the times of struggling, I taught myself a lot. You know what I mean? You just. Every time you go in the woods, I feel like you learn something new.
Even if you hunted the place for years.
And dude, I've took so much in, just figuring out some of my properties even better. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to hunt these deer down, and I learned okay, this time of the year I need to be right here. Or vice versa. But yeah, dude, it gets tough. But I mean, if you want to kill bucks, you can't shoot the small ones, right?
Absolutely.
So you were in Indiana on Halloween weekend, correct?
Yep.
So fast forward a week and a half ish. I'm gonna go to my buck on this one. Tell mine a little bit. We fast forward a little bit. Same property that I took Zach to.
So what he's getting at is he did take you to the good place.
I did take you to the good place.
Oh, I believe you.
I wouldn't as much as he put me on turkeys. I would not take him to the good place. But you left. Didn't touch it. I didn't touch it after you left. I hopped back in there. It's crazy. I want to tell the whole story verbatim, basically. I was supposed to go film Ryan that morning. He texted me. His son is still on oxygen. We've talked about this multiple times. We pray for little Eli on everything that's going on with those guys, but he said, hey, I've been up all night with the little man. I don't want to go. I said, okay. Adam's going to work. And it's weird when you're the cameraman and you film for everybody, and it's like all of a sudden it's like, well, you're on your own kind of thing. It's like, okay. I'll go to Hancock because that's been my honey hole for years. I mean, I've killed some decent bucks there. And I roll up, park. As I'm walking in, I jumped 6 does. And I say, you remember when we walked in and we had the headlamp on, we saw the doe laying there?
Oh, yeah.
6 of them. There were 6 does in the same spot. So I'm like, motherfuck, 2. Okay. I called it. So I get up in the stand. From the time I got in the stand, which was, I was in there early. I was probably an hour early because of the time that I got up. And I had does all around me, deer all around me the whole morning before the sun even came up. I get in there. does all around me, does in the corn. I had these button bucks like ready to fight right off the bat, which is pretty cool. And I get set up and I'm watching these does. I'm watching this buck. He gets about 10 o'clock, 10:30. I'm watching him. I saw a basket rack chasing a doe through some heavy brush. I sit there and I look up from my phone, and here comes this big 10-pointer. He walks through this brush, walks through the deal, and I grunted at him a couple times. He didn't do nothing. And I've learned over the last 2 years, really, because I haven't done it myself. Adam's more shown me than anything. The snort wheeze. Honestly, I've never really done that. And I snort wheeze at this buck, and he stops dead in his tracks. Turns, takes a couple steps towards me, looks. Head out, ears pinned back, and he's like, what's going on? He takes a couple more steps. I do it again. I snort wheeze at this buck again. And he stops dead in his tracks, and he looks at me again. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? He just kept walking. I'm like, oh my God, is this really how this is going to play out? And I'm texting everybody. I send them the video, the buck going through the brush or whatever. And 10 minutes later, I look over, and he had went all the way downwind of me and was trying to work his way back. And I'm like, holy shit. I got my bow. I'm ready at this point. He gets to 30 yards. And at 30 yards, he didn't know that there was a doe bedded down at like 25 yards. So he gets in this little thicket and jumps this doe. And the doe scares him, and he scares the doe. And he stops. And I ranged him 46 yards. And I pulled back. I put my 40-yard pin on him, just a tad high. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. And I fucking rang it.
Three.
I don't even care at this point. I smoked him at 46 yards, and he didn't run 30 yards. And I'm watching him through the brush. All I can see was his rack, and all of a sudden he just hits the ground, rolls over, and I couldn't even hardly stand up out of my stand.
I'd love to have been a fly on the tree.
I couldn't hardly breathe. That's a shot. I don't care who you are as an archery hunter. 46 yards is a shot. And it was a good buck, and it's my biggest buck with a bow. I mean, I was worked up. I mean, for 46 yards with the bow, I felt like I shot a 150. And like you said on the TikTok, the trail cam video, he looks like a 150.
Oh hell yeah! I see. Like, what is he holding out on me? Has he got one of them walking around? I'm coming. Okay.
Yeah.
Through Thanksgiving, I'm leaving right now. I'll be down there in the morning.
But it was awesome, and we got him out of there. And the people that hunt next to me, they're actually the one that sent me the trail cam video. And I got him back to the house. We put the tape on him right at. And we may be a little off. We may be a little off.
We're within, I'd say, 3 inches, give or take. I mean, plus or minus sign, but I'd say he's definitely probably bigger than what we measured him at.
And we measured him, 129 and 5/8, which, man.
He's 130.
He felt bigger than that when I shot him. I felt like he was a 150 when I shot him. Still having a blast doing it. I was by myself. I didn't take the camera, nothing. It was just old school, do it yourself, get up in there and do it. I took the whole week off, and that was Monday. And I tried to get on. He didn't have anything off work until Wednesday, so I was like, I got to sleep in the day. We had party, we did the thing or whatever, And then we'll roll forward. I shot him November 7th, so November the 10th. Yeah, the 10th.
Yeah.
He says, hey, let's hang a stand, blah, blah, blah. He told me the story about seeing this buck, blah, blah, blah. We hang a stand, blah, blah, blah. And I'll let him continue the story from there. This whole week is an understatement. As far as a whitetail hunter's dream, I had an unbelievable week. Yeah. Let's just say that. As a cameraman.
For sure. I don't know, Zach, if you get a chance to... yeah, you watched my video, too, as well.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, but no, man, I hunted the day before.
The 10th.
Yeah, it was a morning hunt well. And the buck came in. I think it was the only deer I seen that evening. And, man, he came in the same way he did when I shot him. He came in there like he was chasing one, but there wasn't nothing in front of him. And he was on a mission. And he came down a ridge that I've seen deer come down in the past. And I was like, man, I just don't have a stand over there with that wind direction. And I honestly think he may have caught a little wind on me that morning, and it was just me, because he got to about where I thought wind was. It'd be close to him. And he sat there and sat there and sat there. I'm like, you son of a gun. I actually turned the GoPro on that time, and but he was at a distance where it was tough to see. He was in a thicket. And if he would have went another 20 yards, I probably could have shot him then. I'm glad he didn't, because the next day we had him on film. But me and Brett decided, I told him, I was like, dude, the wind, I mean, for some reason in this area, it's just like the wind, it's almost a little bowl almost. Yeah. It's a pinch point with a little bowl, but the wind's just almost always consistent in there. So we moved the stands to where it was going to be on the other side of it, and dude, he came down in our lap. But it was
it was awesome.
It was pretty cool. You can actually hear. I mean, you see my wall, man. I've got a bunch right at 130, and I don't want to sound cocky about it, but like when you got a bunch of wall at 130 and you paid a lot of money for every one of them, and they're all damn the same size. I wanted to shoot 140s was my goal last year, and I didn't shoot anything. So I'm like, well, all right. Well, you'll hear me on the video say,
pass him.
Brett says shoot. And I said he's like 120s. Brett says shoot, and I'm like, oh, he's coming in. This is looking cool. Brett's got the camera rolling. It's going down. I'm shooting him.
Yeah.
But it was a cool hunt. Man, we were really fortunate to get him on going down on camera too.
Oh, that was cool.
I mean, it did take him a little longer. I mean, it would have been cooler if it wouldn't have sat there because of a lot of downtime in the video.
It felt like 20 minutes, but it was only like 2 minutes overall.
And I'll give you a little story too with this place. This is the place I'm not allowed to say, I had permission this year, but in the last year I didn't get permission for this place. And I've known people to hunt it. I guess a guy must have leased it, and no one was allowed to hunt it. This year I've heard stories that he wasn't leasing it, basically, is what I'll say, is he didn't lease it this year, but I know that people could hunt it. Haven't seen anybody during bow season. I think most of them just gun hunt it. That morning's the first time
wow.
I've seen somebody in there. We see a flashlight, and I'm like, oh, crap, So I keep hitting it.
We flashed him 30 times, just like, hey, we're here.
Whenever I could see his light, I was flashing mine. And so I kept doing it. I'm like, man, I don't care if he hunts down there. He's probably got permission too. I just want him to know we're here.
Right,
Quit coming my way. Don't keep coming closer to us.
Yep.
Well, last time I seen his light was right where that deer ran when I shot. That's why I'm like, he's going right towards that dude.
He's going right towards the guy.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never met anyone that hunts out here. I know there's other people hunt out here. I know that guy whose light went off around that area. And I'm like, this dude's going to shoot this thing. And then we can have an issue. Like, I don't want no conflict, but I was worried that was what would happen. Then I seen when the buck finally went down, I'm like, oh, God, this guy's probably pissed now.
You guys are fist fighting on the parking lot.
Yeah, so that's what I was like. I mean, I had all those bad scenarios playing out in my head, but it ended up not being there. I don't know when he left because we never seen him.
We never seen him come down or nothing.
So part of me thinks that this guy didn't have permission. I think once he finally seen our light, he bailed out of there. Yep. Because a couple of days before, we seen a guy in the fence line on the other side of the road.
200-300 yards down.
Well, they brought the corn in the day before, and now that guy can get to that woods from where he was at pretty easily. And I think he could have been that guy that came in and realized that somebody was in there, and he bailed out of there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because you know us, we're beer drinking guys. I put one down. Hell, he put one down that morning on video. By 10:30, 11 o'clock, we're drinking beer, having a good time with our buddy Clint that helped us drag this deer out. He goes, this is awesome. I'm going to go back out, and I'm going to sit the rest of the day. I'm like, that's cool, man. Go out there and get it done. He's got an awesome property behind his house, his personal property. So we're sitting there drinking beer, and he's like, dude, Clint just texted me. He shot a good one. I'm like, no kidding. So, we're half buzzed up. We get a ride to his house, and go.
Figure
help him drag it out and all this.
We didn't help him drag this out.
No, he got a bobcat basically.
He had a skid steer and drove it right down there and scooped him up. I was like, no way he's doing this. Scooped him right up, drove it to the truck, and just let the bucket down and dropped him in the bed of the truck. I'm like, dude, I will help you drag any deer.
Yeah, for sure.
But he said, he's like, dude, I'll shoot the first buck I see. I don't care. He's like, I'm just gonna shoot one. And he was pumped.
He was.
I told Brett, I was like, that's the kind of guy when he says something, he will do it. Most people are like, I'm shooting the first buck, but no damn well they're not going to shoot nothing unless it's a good one.
That's how I am. I joke about it all the time. At the start,
oh yeah.
I was like, you guys are gonna laugh because I'm gonna shoot the first 100-inch. I bet about 4 or 5 of my buddies were like, thought you were shooting the first 100-incher. I'm like, well,
yeah,
do it.
But it was so cool for me as a cameraman. I go shoot one on Monday. I film him on Friday shooting one. We go drag one out with Clint. Next morning, he shoots on Friday. They both shoot on Friday, him and Clint. Saturday morning is our opening day of gun. And I really didn't have any plans, I was really going to film Adam. And he shot one, I shot one. Ryan had a bunch of issues with little man and all that. He's like, hey, man, let's go. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm in. We drank enough beer. Adam said I wasn't going hunting.
No, I didn't think he was.
He said,
Brett's the kind of guy after a 6-pack, he ain't getting that.
But I'm like, all right, I'll go. So I get up. We go down to the river. We get sitting there, and the first hour we didn't see much. I saw one deer on the other side of the river. It wasn't a whole lot. All of a sudden, he's pointing to me. Hey, big buck, big buck, big buck. I'm looking. I'm like, I don't see anything, dude. Like, I thought he's just messing with me. And all of a sudden, I see the rack. So I'm like, hold on, let me glass him so you don't shoot like some basket rack and you regret shooting this thing. Right. So I get the binos to it, and I'm like, oh, dude, this dude's a giant. So I'm like, all right, get on him. Boom! First shot, misses. I'm like watching him through the camera, and right after he shoots, I'm like, put another one. Boom! He shoots him. He spins around, goes in the field. Looks like he's done. I mean, it looks like he's dying.
He would have been.
He flipped over a few times, stands up again. I'm like, put another one in him. Shoots again. That's off camera. But he puts another one in him. Unreal aspect, man. You know how much time I put in behind the camera. He definitely knows how much time I put in behind the camera when it comes to the filming deer. To not have anything on camera really personally besides, some does and blah, blah, blah. To have 230 plus inch deer back-to-back days on camera is a cameraman's wet dream. Oh. I mean, it's unreal.
No, that Ryan's video was really cool, and to have the bonus kicker with the doe come in at the end and him shoot that
mid-interview,
and man, and Ryan was going through some stuff in his life. Man, that was his perfect day for Ryan to have that happen to him, man.
For sure.
Yep. One thing I did want, I skipped over something that I wouldn't have done when I hung that stand. I wouldn't do that in October. I wouldn't move and put the scent all in there and go hunt it the next day. But, man, November's like me and Brett being drunk in the garage. Like, we'll do anything. We don't care. We're crazy. That's where, like, we want to move that stand. I wasn't worried about scent or nothing because when the rut's on, the rut's on. You can get away with a lot more. I wouldn't move a stand like that in October and go hunt it.
The devil's pitchfork.
Yeah.
We about died putting them puckers in. I ain't kidding you. That's 4.
That's 4.
But, I always am a firm believer, obviously, in really good scent control. You know what I mean? I usually invest in field, got my ozone bag, all that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get into that, but as far as the moving around, that's one thing I've learned in the past couple of years because I was, like, strictly mobile, doing hanging hunts, self-filming for the last 2 years, like, this year, I finally was like, this is fucking... Damn it.
You got one.
Dang it. It's too much work, okay? I was like, sometimes it really is too much work. Dude, you're carrying your camera gear in, you're hanging a set, you're doing this all, like... In the last 2 years, I was 90% mobile. Like, and I am not BSing you guys at all. I was carrying my pack in with my camera gear, my bag, all my stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just burning myself out, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this every time? This is dumb. Like,
Yep.
this year I said, you know what? I'm hanging a couple permanent sets where I know they need to be. And I'll bounce around accordingly.
Yeah.
So, like, at Grandpa's is a small parcel. You can ask him. It's super small. There isn't much there. It's not a good deer hunt in the woods. There's nothing really good about it. They bet on the neighbors a lot, and I have food plots and a water source. So I get the deer traveling quite a bit. Well, I go in there. Man, that was... I swear that was before I came to Indiana also. It was like or maybe right after I got back. When I snort wheezed that one into like 30 yards.
Oh, yeah, that was after you left.
It was like right after, though. Because it would have been like within a week of me killing my buck. I know it. Because I remember thinking to myself when this buck was coming in, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to tag out within a week. Dude, this is like a dream come true. And anyways, I did a hanging hunt that night. I'm in this little spindly tree. Probably my hand's bigger around in the tree. And I hang up. I got a pine tree right next to me. I got branches basically wrapped all around. I had one spot where I knew this buck was going to come across. So I'm sending this, dude, and I'm just thinking, like, this would be so stupid this happened because I could damn near touch the bottom of my platform standing on the ground. I hung 2 sticks, but realistically, if I wanted to hang like an ape, I could have just pulled myself in. And I'm kind of laughing, you know, and you always hear these stories about dudes hunting 5 foot off the ground and killing bucks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
DeQuisto. I mean, Cody DeQuisto does it all the time. You watch his videos, dude. The guy does it all the time. And so, and that off-wind thing, like you said, that wind was a dude, I have learned, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Me and you talked about a little bit. We swear by off-wind.
Dude.
You hunt off-wind. Like, I mean, if your wind's iffy, that's when you should be going, I think.
I'm telling you, these bucks, it's just like at Dad's. The night I shot my buck, my wind was blowing directly at that deer.
Yeah.
Directly at him.
They're there for a reason.
Yes, they're there because they feel comfortable coming into the wind. I mean, you guys know as well as I do, you see a mature buck, he is probably walking into the wind. Unless there's some reason why he's not, you know what I mean?
That's why Brett's buck circled back around. He's like, okay, if you're there.
I had good wind, though.
And didn't come, I was like, yeah, I know why, because he's circling downwind. It's happened to me before where before I knew what he was doing, I like panicked and was like, dude, damn it, you know, he's such a big buck. And then you look back and you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? He's circling back downwindy, and you're like, oh no.
You know, something that could help somebody else right there is a great example. Is don't freak out when he's not coming to you. So don't keep trying to grunt. Don't try doing all that. Give him a couple. Let him go.
Let him look and acknowledge, and then let him go. If he's not going to come, he's not going to come regardless. Nope. Let that deer do him, because if you keep doing it, he's going to be like, yeah, there's nothing there. Like,
yep.
So that deer, anyways, long story short, when I did that hanging hunt, it was I think that was almost the first one of the year that second, third, whatever. I've only done a few hanging hunts this year. So I did this. This deer comes across at like 70 yards through this bedding area, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's that buck I haven't had on camera since October 6th or 7th. And I debated when I was looking at him on camera. I was like, I don't think I would shoot him, honestly. You know,
yeah.
I thought he just looked smaller on camera or on trail cam. I'm like, dude, I'm not shooting that deer. You know, I don't really have nothing to shoot. I'm like, I'm not shooting him. You know, I'm not going to burn a second tag. Dude, I seen him in person. I'm like, this deer is way better than he looks on camera.
Yeah, I swear, trail cameras do not give them justice, man.
It's either they look huge on trail camera or they look small. There's nothing in between. There's no trail camera picture that I've ever seen that I'm like, oh, that looks exactly like the deer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this deer's working across like 75 yards, and he's cutting kitty corner coming across. He's actually working kind of away from me slowly. That's just the way they run through there. He gets out there, and he turns, and he starts taking the runway, like kind of walking away. He's at probably 80 yards. I grunted at him twice. He stopped. He never even looked, though. He was just like, I don't want no part in that. You know, it was when Rut was kicking here. So I was like, well, we're going to throw the kitchen sink at him. Do I snort wheeze at this deer? You seen that, dude, before he even turned, you could see the hair stand up on his back, and I was like, oh, man, he's coming. Dude, I got like, hell yeah. This deer, the same thing he said, dude. He turned right around, did a loop, but I could see him.
Yeah.
He did a loop, And I'm thinking, yep, coming downwind. I was like, well, hopefully the scent control's good today, dude. This deer just starts beelining right towards me, and I'm like, oh. I got bow in hand, ready to go, locked on. I got one branch. Another thing about hanging hunt. If you think for 1 second that, man, that branch could be in the way, you better trim it. I'm telling you. Because, dude, I'm sitting there. I am so fired up. I think this deer is actually going to walk back past me, because their main runway coming into our woods is basically kind of right where I have my stand, honestly. I'm like, dude, this deer is going to give me a 15-yard broadside shot. He is just on a B-roll. He gets to 30 yards, stops right behind that overhang branch. He's standing there broadside, and I can't shoot him.
Oh,
I never even drew. Dude, I had my bow like this, and, like, even in the actual footage, I'm coming off him at about this time, and I'm moving my camera just to a wide angle to set right here, because I'm getting ready to drop.
Yeah.
And this deer just stops, and he's looking, he's looking for the buck, and I know what they do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like the perfect scenario for that. If I would have had a decoy sitting in the woods,
done deal.
Jumped and I would have killed him. But it's stupid stuff you learn, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it doesn't work every time. That's what I've learned also, you know what I mean? But I guess I get grateful for them encounters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Crazy thing is, the day before I shot mine, I'm filming Adam in the new place. He's had permission, lost it a little bit. He's back in, and we've hung stands, blah, blah, blah. We're sitting there, and this deer comes in, the doe comes in, and I'm like, hey, there's a doe or whatever. I'm like tapping him or whatever, cameraman. I'm on the bottom of him with my saddle. He's in the climber. I'm like, hey, good buck, good buck, good buck. I'm like tapping his leg, He's like, oh, yeah, what a Brett buck.
My first thought was, this is a Brett buck. Like, I didn't even get pumped. When he says that, I'm like,
I said, grab your bow. Yeah. So the day before, we encountered, what do you think? He's 140, 150-inch deer?
I really...
He's close.
I could see him at the side angle, and I couldn't tell how big he was. But he was definitely a deer that I've never had an encounter that had that much mass. Yeah. He was just massive. That's all I could tell. And I was like, holy smoke. So I knew I was shooting him then. But, man, if he would have taken a few more steps, it would have been game over.
We had him at 36 yards. It just couldn't get a shot or whatever. He was behind a doe, tending a doe. The doe ran off. The buck was right behind it. And I remember saying to Adam in the tree, I bet you wish you had the next week off, don't you? And he goes, I got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I shot my buck the next day.
But to be truthful is that deer was maybe, I don't, like I said, I couldn't guess. I know he's 140 plus.
140 plus.
But we had the camera in the stand, and Brett never had it on.
I couldn't get the camera on.
So to kill my 130s over that 140s plus, I'd take that 130 because it was all on camera, man, and it was just so much more. I was just talking to my buddy Birch. Gotta bring his name up every time I'm on these podcasts. I'm gonna leave his ass out one of these times. But I was talking to him today. I was like, how cool it is. Like, you kill one, you just show people a picture, and I was like, it's so much better to be like, check out my hunt, and everyone we get to watch the video. So that means more to me to kill the deer I did on video than I would have had a chance to kill 140s and just show people a picture.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was badass. For being our first deer on camera, kill wise, as Blue River bow hunting, means a lot compared to just having little bits and pieces here and there, blah blah blah. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Screw that, like I want to.
Did you just save yourself from sex?
I saved myself from sex.
Yeah, but no.
I know Zach's head isn't in this at the moment, but the one thing that I'm glad that I did prior to that hunt, I'm glad I switched camera arms.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt, I wish I'm glad I did.
No, if I could just get you to switch from the ratchet strap.
We'll get there one of these days.
Yeah. But no, so man, we this year's been great to us.
Unreal.
Man, we hope to keep it going. What we're struggling with, if anyone's got some cash, we need another camera.
We need another camera, another camera.
Because I'm actually going tomorrow morning and taking a guy, and man, it's the kind of guy that he's gonna shoot the first deer he probably sees. I'll give him the green light, man, because I know what a deer to him would mean right now. So man, I got a feeling we can kill something tomorrow, but it's probably not gonna be on camera. Well, I can have it on my phone. But
I give you the camera. I'm going duck hunting.
If you want to do that, we can try getting it on video. 'Cause I think we'll have a chance tomorrow. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving. That is a great family tradition for. I mean, man, a lot of hunters will talk about Thanksgiving. What's their tradition?
That was my tradition.
That is another podcast that we should have brought up
we can
sometime
do that too.
Zach's AWOL right now. He's probably doing a keg stand, but there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry,
Zach. What's your Thanksgiving tradition when it comes to deer hunting?
dude. I usually always hunt in the morning, for sure.
Is it been that way since your childhood? Did you got uncles, brothers, dad always go, or?
Honestly, I guess it really isn't like a family tradition. I've just always called myself every Thanksgiving morning I'll go out, because usually like our Thanksgivings are usually like afternoon.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I'll go out hunting for half the day and then, come back, take a shower, and then go over to Thanksgiving, eat some lunch or whatever, and then go to dinner.
Yeah, and I really don't have one either, but like
mine was deer hunting for years.
It's a must for me to go that morning, even if I have one down. It's a must. I don't know why, but I promise you, I don't know what it is. Every evening on Thanksgiving looks like, damn it, I should have been in the woods.
Yeah, for sure.
You'd be with all family, and you're just looking outside, and you're like, gosh, man.
Well, he's basing it all off weather, but he potentially could be in Indiana this weekend.
Yep, Zach, come on down.
Come on down, man.
I got lost mess around. You asked if I watched your video. I messaged Brett. I said, dude, now is he going to let me go hunt his property when I come back?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
one of the properties I have, I was asked not to hunt it on Thanksgiving Day because I think one of the...
Where we saw the big one.
One of the kids that comes down, that his dad owns the property, I think he comes down and hunts it that day, and that's the only day he hunts it. That's the only person that hunts it all year is that. But, man, I'm still getting some decent deer on camera there for sure. It's a place that you can reach out and touch them too, which is pretty cool. But it'd be a great place to take you, Zach. We got two stands that are about 25 feet, so I don't know if you'll like those. Hey, I can video you from 25, and you're about 10 foot. Okay.
There you go.
We just may have to be mic'd up for it. Yeah, but no, I definitely, man. If you come down, I think my boys don't really have any basketball games or stuff this weekend. Dylan may have one, but the rest of them, I think we don't have no games or something. So we can definitely make a couple hunts out of it for sure.
And that's crazy because I'm usually deer hunting on Thanksgiving. I got one down, you got one down, Ryan's got one down. I really don't have anybody to film. And Ryan and Spencer are like, hey, we got a bunch of mallards in this hole. Let's go duck hunting. I'm like, let's go. I bought all my duck hunting stuff today. I've had it together, just not like fully together. But like, I'm down to shoot some mallards straight in the face in the morning.
I think Brett needs a water.
No, I don't.
We lost you again, Zach.
No, he's still there.
Nope, he's frozen.
Oh, is he frozen?
Yep. Told you need a
I
water.
was going to talk about the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Zach.
I bet Zach.
Hey, Zach, after you left, guess what I did? The first thing you did after I left. Can you guess what I did?
What'd you do?
I switched camera arms, and I am not using that other camera arm ever again.
Really? Dude,
yeah, I'm using the muddy full on. I'm not using any other camera arm.
Hey, I'll tell you right now. Switch to fourth arrow.
I like those, man. I like that. I mean, you talked about that. I like those.
We can do all that.
I did like those. I told him, though, if he's going to stick with that muddy, he can't use that damn ratchet strap that he uses on that thing because that drives me nuts in the morning.
No, the ratchet strap thing does suck.
It does, but it's so fucking sturdy.
Yep.
7. Oh, that's 8.
The one money that I had, It actually has like it had like a pull strap with like a cam, like I don't even know how to explain it. It had like a cam buckle on it. Like once you hold it tight, you just like cam this over and it locks.
Close it. It clamps it even tighter. That would be the way to
deal
go.
with that.
I don't even know what one that was. It must be like a step up or something. But that was sweet. Them things just suck to pack.
Dude, that ratchet's so bad. Like, I may stop at garage sales looking for a different strap. I'm shopping anywhere and everywhere to find something like that because that buckle that you're talking about would be the way to do it.
Oh yeah, I wonder if Muddy even has one. The base. The only thing that I did not like about the Muddy was trying to pack that base. That's freaking just.
Oh,
huge.
I give Brett shit all the time. I'm like,
huge.
There's 9.
6.
But yeah, but I give Brett crap all the time. Like, dude. So you know how hard it is to hunt with a cameraman. You got to imagine a cameraman that carries a stinking it is a.
This is a big one.
Oh, it's a suitcase. He's carrying a suitcase to the stand just because he's got his camera arm and everything else he brings.
But did we get it done?
7 years later.
7 years, my ass.
But yeah.
No, them fourth arrow bases are pretty awesome too.
What's a boy's name from Scentlock or Scent Blocker Nexus?
Victor.
Victor, we're gonna get Victor on here soon. We want to get that whole thing rolling. We're gonna get him on.
I looked him up on Facebook. He knows a few buddies of mine actually.
He lives far from you guys. You said
no. He
lives just down the road.
The guys that he knows is some really good buddies. Actually, one of mine was one of my best men in my wedding, and
really?
he's killed some 170s. And a lot of 150s and 140s. So I'm like, that's how he knows him.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Victor's cool, man. We met him down at ATA. That's who we talked to and stuff. And man, he's an awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to ATA for Indianapolis this year. We're gonna try to throw it together for here Blue River Bow Hunting here, but try to get it on. But I'd like to do like a ATA party somewhere.
When is that ATA show?
It's in January, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
Because I was thinking it'd been cool if it's like after February and you're coming down. Hell, we'd take you some places and shed hunt.
Yeah, that too.
Because I'd love for you to find one and Brett still not be able to find one.
Oh, God.
I'll drive down just to go shed hunting just to do some video, dude. It'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I tell you, I think I may have shown you the shed that my wife found in Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that thing.
Yeah, and man, shed hunting, like me, she's so into shed hunting, it makes it fun. We took a trip to Illinois, and just because, you can shed hunt that. You don't have to have a hunting license to do that. And all I see is giants there, and I was like, let's go to state property there. And me and her just did like drove down there, stayed all night that night, and the next day we shed hunted all day and came back. She found the one that's bigger than any shed I've found. And we had a great time. But, man, we ought to, I don't know, we can meet somewhere up this spring and go shed hunting and get some video of it. It'd be a good time.
Put together a little video or something. It'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Brett can bring a suitcase and we can pack some beer in it.
Deal.
I'll say, even if you just shed hunt our place, it'd be fun.
Yep.
I'm the world's worst shed hunter, so.
Yeah, so no, we definitely need to try doing something like that as well. But man, Zach, if you get the opportunity, don't put too much pressure on the family. But if you get the opportunity to come down, we'll try making some things happen for sure.
I don't know who's breaking up, but
nah, you're breaking up. So. Zach, tell us where you can find you and Mid-State Outdoors. Tell us the whole deal.
He will when he gets unfroze.
Stay tuned, everybody. Give us a couple seconds. We're working on the internet connection.
He's doing another keg stand. Don't ever make that sound again.
He's coming back.
Oh, he switched, didn't he? Did you just cut him off?
I did not do that.
Is that you guys?
There you are.
Zach, tell everybody where they can find you and Mid-State Outdoors on everywhere.
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 No, we just started. Well, actually, you told me to start a Twitter up.
Yeah, for sure.
YouTube, obviously, Mid-State Outdoors. My buck kill's on there, and my buddy Matt just.
Yeah, I just watched Matt's earlier. I love
checked
Matt.
out
He's cool.
one day on 2 good Michigan bucks. Really, the one was just
2 in one day.
Yeah, within minutes of each other. So that's up. Instagram, Facebook, they're all at Mid-State Outdoors. So.
I need to share some of your stuff as well and through Facebook.
Heck yeah.
For sure.
Helps with the viewers for sure. We're really working on getting our YouTube up there. We're flirting with 600 subscribers. My goal for this year was to get us up to 1,000. And it's
Nice. Keep digging, dude. I'll try helping you out as well.
Heck yeah, dude. It's man, that growing the
It's
YouTube
rough.
it's a struggle, man. I mean, Facebook's one thing, Instagram's one thing, but I feel like it's a lot easier to grow that than the YouTube, man. You gotta.
YouTube's hard. Like I had what?
Yeah, but you share them through Facebook. It helps it.
I had less than
Yeah.
300, and he killed his, and Ryan killed his, and we're almost to 400 now.
Yeah, we was at 280 something. I think before we killed both those. That's what I was thinking. Your kill, and what'd you say? Matt had those too. Was
Yeah,
that?
2 in one
yeah.
day.
Yeah. So man, you're definitely on the ups.
Matt's
For
is Matt's is gonna blow up, dude. Well, actually, he's already got 2.1 thousand views, and it was 4 hours ago. So.
Hey, tell him to slow it down because he's gonna pass me within 24 hours.
Oh yeah. Like I told Matt, he was worried about getting views. I was like, dude. Since when does anyone kill 2 good bucks in one day? Never. I was like,
For
it's
sure.
gonna get
I wouldn't even say one day. It wasn't within one hunt.
dude. It was within an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. So one day's not giving it credit.
Tag out.
Hopefully, tagging this on everything will get some people watching it.
Heck yeah.
Watching, if you're listening right now, which I hope you are, it doesn't matter where you're at in the country. Check Mid-State Outdoors. Check their videos out.
Great videos.
Zach's killing some giants. Bow season, and Matt's killing some deer. 2 deer and 1 fucking hunt on. That's 7.
He's way off.
That's
in
like
count.
10, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it happens.
I told you get him a water.
Yep.
Adam kills 1 on video in bow. Ryan kills 1. Like between Blue River bow hunting and Mid-State Outdoors, we're killing some giants on video this year. Like everybody, check us out on all that.
We have more coming. I got a bunch of slackers in the group, man. Well, not slackers. I ain't saying that because you know how it goes. Stuff happens. But
Yeah.
dude, we have put a lot of bucks down this year.
How many cameras do you guys have in your crew?
Everyone has cameras.
Yeah, there's like 10
I
of them.
don't know if you heard me earlier. I said if anyone's watching this and wants to buy me a camera, I'd appreciate it.
He's gonna start like a hunting OnlyFans or something. Hey, start selling feet pics or something.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do something now. Yep, for sure.
But everybody, check Mid-State Outdoors out. Check Blue River Bow Hunting out. We're on any platform you can check us out on.
Oh, he's
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. It's all out there. Go Wild. We're out there. So everybody check everybody out on all that stuff.
Appreciate you, Zach.
Hell yeah, man.
Zach from Mid-State Outdoors, and we'll do it again here soon.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
See ya.
We'll see ya.